This isn't just another video about avoiding temptation. This is about protecting your most sacred energy and understanding how your actions are impacting your soul. We'll explore how frequent release weakens the pineal gland, which is central to your spiritual growth. And the solution: energy retention, redirecting your vital force inward to elevate your spirit. If you've ever wondered why you feel spiritually drained or disconnected, this could be the eye-opener you need. Society encourages you to believe that frequent release is normal, healthy, and even essential for men. But this narrative might be the very reason you're feeling spiritually lost, disconnected, or lacking direction. Every time you release, you're giving away more than just a physical fluid. You're surrendering your spiritual life force, the same energy that could be used to elevate you toward your highest purpose. The problem: mainstream culture constantly pushes this false message that letting it out is not only natural but necessary. It leaves men feeling trapped in an endless cycle of indulgence, pleasure, and emptiness. But what if I told you that these regular releases are blocking your spiritual antenna, your pineal gland, from working at its highest potential? The pineal gland is your gateway to divine understanding, spiritual insight, and mental clarity. However, each release clouds this sacred center, leaving you less capable of tuning into higher frequencies, divine messages, or your true self. So how do you break free from this cycle? How do you begin to retain your energy and reclaim your spiritual power in a world that encourages you to give it away? Let's start by diving into what the pineal gland really is and why it's so important. Known in spiritual communities as the third eye, this small gland located in your brain is often referred to as the seat of the soul. It's believed to be responsible for your intuition, spiritual insight, and the ability to receive higher wisdom. In short, it's your connection to the divine. But here's where it gets interesting. The pineal gland is sensitive, and it's easily affected by both physical and spiritual factors. We already know that environmental toxins like fluoride can calcify the pineal gland, making it less active. But what's not talked about enough is how frequent release can also negatively impact the pineal gland's functionality. Think about it. Your vital fluid is more than just a biological substance. It's packed with life force energy, nutrients, and vitality. Every time you release, you're depleting your body of this essential energy. But the effects go beyond the physical. Spiritually, you're losing the energy that could have been channeled back into your body, helping to keep your pineal gland open and vibrant. Imagine the pineal gland as a spiritual antenna. When it's fully charged and functioning at its peak, you're able to receive clear, direct signals from the divine. You experience heightened intuition, deeper spiritual awareness, and a stronger connection to your higher purpose. But each time you release, you're weakening that signal. You're draining the very energy that fuels your spiritual connection, leaving your pineal gland clouded and less responsive. Let's go deeper into the science behind this. Research shows that this vital fluid contains high levels of zinc, magnesium, and other key nutrients that are vital for brain function. When you lose those nutrients, you're not only weakening your physical body, but also robbing your brain, and specifically your pineal gland, of the resources it needs to function optimally. But the question is, why haven't you heard more about this? Why is there such a strong push to convince men that frequent release is necessary and beneficial? The truth is, society doesn't want you to know how powerful you can become when you retain your life force energy. By encouraging constant release, the system keeps you spiritually dulled, mentally foggy, and disconnected from your true potential. Now, here's where energy retention comes into play. Energy retention is the practice of keeping your vital force and redirecting that energy inward. Instead of losing it, you're using it to nourish your body, mind, and spirit. It's about mastery, mastering your desires, mastering your urges, and ultimately, mastering your spiritual power. Ancient spiritual practices from Taoism, Ayurveda, and even early Christian mysticism have long taught the importance of energy retention. These teachings emphasize that a man's life force is sacred and that by retaining it, he can ascend to higher states of consciousness. But in today's hypersexualized world, this wisdom has been buried. Instead, we're bombarded with messages that tell us to indulge, to give in, to release. But let's take a step back and really think about this. When you release, you might feel a momentary sense of pleasure, but what happens after? Do you feel energized, empowered, or do you feel drained, both physically and spiritually? This is no coincidence. Every time you experience a release, you're draining your spiritual battery, making it harder for your pineal gland to function, and therefore harder for you to tap into higher wisdom. Energy retention, on the other hand, allows you to keep that energy within. Instead of losing it, you circulate it back into your body, where it can be used to revitalize your cells, enhance your brain function, and most importantly, clear and activate your pineal gland. This is where the real power lies. Imagine a life where you are constantly connected to your higher self, where your spiritual antenna is always receiving clear, powerful signals. That's what energy retention offers. It's not just about avoiding release. It's about consciously using your life force energy to fuel your spiritual growth and reach your highest potential. Let's take a look at how this practice has impacted those who have mastered it. Men who practice energy retention report feeling more mentally clear, more spiritually attuned, and even more physically strong. Their ability to connect with divine guidance becomes sharper, their intuition becomes more reliable, and they feel more in control of their destiny. They no longer feel like they're at the mercy of their physical urges. Instead, they've learned to harness those urges for spiritual empowerment. And here's something else to consider. Many of the world's most spiritually enlightened figures, from Jesus to Buddha to the great sages of the East, have all advocated for some form of life force retention. This isn't a new idea. It's ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time. But in today's world, where instant gratification is celebrated, this wisdom has been overshadowed. Now is your chance to reclaim it. Here's the turning point. You now understand that every time you release, you're giving away your life force. You're weakening your spiritual antenna, and you're making yourself spiritually inferior. But what if you could reverse that? What if, instead of releasing your energy, you learn to retain it, to circulate it back through your body, and to use it to fuel your spiritual growth? This is where energy retention changes everything. When you practice energy retention, you're making a conscious choice to preserve your most sacred energy. You're choosing to strengthen your pineal gland rather than dull it. You're choosing to enhance your spiritual connection rather than weaken it. And the benefits are undeniable. Men who practice energy retention often experience heightened mental clarity, increased energy, and a deeper sense of spiritual purpose. They report feeling more in tune with their intuition, more capable of receiving divine messages, and more empowered in their daily lives. They've learned to harness the power of their sexual energy and use it for spiritual elevation rather than physical depletion. But here's the thing. This practice requires discipline. It requires commitment. It requires a willingness to step outside of societal norms and embrace a higher way of living. It's not easy, but it's worth it. The rewards are beyond what you can imagine, and the transformation is profound. So now the question is, are you ready to take control of your spiritual destiny? Are you ready to stop giving away your life force and start using it to fuel your spiritual growth? Energy retention isn't just a practice, it's a lifestyle. It's a commitment to preserving your energy, enhancing your pineal gland, and unlocking your full spiritual potential. You have the power to break free from the lies that society has fed you. You have the power to stop being spiritually inferior and start ascending to higher levels of consciousness. The choice is yours. Will you continue to drain your energy, or will you choose to harness it and unlock the spiritual power within you?